So, good evening guys, and welcome to another Monday night instalment of On The Limit Racing. We go to the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve, I'm not very good at saying that, Canada, for a lap round the close and compact Canada. So, same as how we started last week, we're in the lobby with Jensen. He is here somewhere, the newly crowned HOR champion. And he is going to take us on a quick hot lap of the track before we get into qualifying. And no, I have not pooped on Jensen this evening. It is most definitely on dry weather. I thought I shan't be mean. So, things to note about Canada. Tricky, a very street-like circuit. Some very tricky off-camber corners, and some corners where you really need to use a lot of curb, and the curbs, you either run them really smoothly or you hit them with a lot of force and they upset the car in a manner that's just not nice. So I will do not quit, I will retire, and then we'll go on board with Jensen till he gets a hot lap in. Good evening, Mitch. So Jensen will be just getting his setup on the car. He will probably take some fuel out for an optimum run. And I think I mentioned before, and I think a thing that's massively underrated in this game, tyre warm-up. Tyre warm-up for me is critical, but the issue that you come towards, especially in the soft tyre, is the kind of balance between warm-up and deg is tricky, and I just need to turn the game sound down because Jensen's Ferrari engine is nearly blew my head off. So, as I was saying, yes, the striking a balance between warm-up and deg is quite tricky. Brake temperatures, especially when you've got high impact braking zones like you do at Canada, you've got to be really careful. Good evening, Glock. We expect big things this evening, I am sure.
One sec, Chris, just checking my settings are correct.
Yeah, sure. So, down the back straight, you've got to approach. A lot of people will attack into the World Champion chicane to be quick out the exit, but you can do the normal approach of kind of slow up to the corner and pick your drive line and go hard. I think Jensen takes a slightly slower approach, chucks the car through. DRS open, so start your lap wide, cut into the inside to pick your braking zone at about 80 metres, take as much of the inside curve for turn 1, careful on the inside lock up for 2. It's kind of an early apex drift wide. Use the outside curb to maximise traction. Flick the car in. Probably would have wanted to use more inside curb than he just did. Keep close to the wall into the tricky. Get the steering straight. Brake about 80 metres. Staying away from that inside curb, that really upsets the car. DRS open to the right hand side, so you're looking for the straightest line possible to the next corner. Let the car drift wide. Take as much of the inside curb. Tricky and traction corner down to the hairpin onto the back straight. Find your braking point about 80 metres. Do not lock up a tyre. Some people like an apex tight, some people take the wider line. The optimal thing you need to think about is exit traction, DRS open in the back straight, and then coming up to Wall of Champions. The trickiest corner, you want to abuse apexes as much as possible, but not invalidate the lap, and then let the car drift out as close to the wall as you possibly dare, and then stay on the outside line of the track to the line for a 1:08.2 and a pretty reasonable start lap with a donut at the end. So I will go on a rundown of points. as we get ourselves in and prepped for the start of OTL Round 6 Canada. Excuse the blue screen while I join the lobby. So a lowdown on the points. We have Envinelli still with a slim lead at the top on 99 points, a dominant and surging Glock in P2 on 93, and then we have Sophie in what is a little bit of no man's land, 13 points adrift from the top two, but 29 adrift from P4 in third. Rocking Kid in P4 on 61, Green Market 5th on 55, Dr. Special Energy P6 on 54, Surjeet and Mad G P7 and 8, both on 52, Jelly Hayes P9, who's also been in a bit better form the last couple of races, P12 on 50, P9, Gingerbush P10 on 48, Lionel P11 on 47, JB13 P12 on 44, Officer Duffy and Matoman 13 and 14 on 41, JD Savile P15 on 36, Ryan Cutt P16 on 31, Mitch P17 on 18, C Parsley P18 on 15, Blood and Sand P19 on 13, and Yusuf I think joins the fray at P20. I think he was a reserve, but I think he now takes the vacant seat, so we will see him take that 20th position at the bottom of the grid. As for constructors, Haas lead the way on 3 wins as a constructor on 151 points. Then we've got Alpha and P2. No wins to their name this season, but still standing strong on P2 and 133. Then we've got the Red Bull team, 2 wins to their name, 117 and third. Then Ferrari, no wins, 117 P4. Mercedes, 0 wins, 116 P5. Williams, 0 wins, 96 in P6. Racing Point, 0 wins, P7 on 93. McLaren, 0 wins, 92 points, P8. Renault, 0 wins, 82 points, P9. And Alpha Tauri Honda, 0 wins, P10 on 61 points. So, Jensen, I assume I better go into spectator. I do not want to be a driver.
Yeah, well. Yeah, it's quiet.
So, I assume we're expecting big things from Mr. Glock this evening. But can Nelly stop him? Can Nelly get that early season momentum back in his side? And I think, excuse my little burp there, I think there's some drivers that showed potential of really good results and the races not quite went in their favour.
For sure, man. Glock wasn't very consistent in the first 2 races, but come back.
And Glock's saying it's not his strongest track. Ooh.
Yeah, Nelly's been consistent in the first 2 races, but it's the last 2 that he's been lacking at. So it seems wherever one's struggling, one's dominating at the same time.
Which I guess in regards to the championship is a good thing. You know, if you want to kind of any form of championship battle, well, the leader is having a weak day, you need the challenger to be having a strong day.
At the moment, Glock is the challenger at the moment. I think, is Nelly still in the lead the championship?
By 6 points.
Yeah,
or maybe 7.
Moment, he's got that point advantage, and if it is a difficult track for Glock, I'm sure it's going to be, hopefully he would take advantage of that.
I think,
and keep this fight going.
Yes, also a track where ERS management plays a big part. I think strategy as well. I think with the group and the times we see here, I think 1 and 2 stops could both be utilised. I think you'll see the guys with just slightly, maybe a couple of tenths at the front, they will go 1 stop. In fact, they could maybe be the guys more inclined to try a 2 stop, just for tyre safety. Whereas you may see some guys further back go for the hards early and try and drag out a massive stint and just go for a small burst and make some positions on the end on the soft.
You have to consider overtaking as well. It's not a very easy track.
And that looks a
overtake
little
at.
overcast, if you ask me.
Might be some rain in the air.
So maybe some of the guys will say.
Yeah, just have to look. You might know the race conditions as well, which will be interesting. It might shake up tyres.
Yes, so a lot of mediums on early, so that's either a commitment that there's no rain coming and they're going to go medium. That tends to be the way in OTL. A lot of guys like the medium tyre early in the quali session, then they move themselves onto the sauce for a couple of runs near the end, or guys are going, right, we're only going to get one lap in, I want to start in the medium tyre, so I'm just going to throw it down. If people make a mistake or you get an invalidation, who knows, maybe somebody tuned in. So I'm going to jump for the restroom as they go in an out lap. I am on board with Officer Duffy for the moment.
Medium tyres for every guy on track is on the medium tyres at the moment. Every driver on the softs is in the pits still. Ferrari's going out. I don't know, I think that was Yusuf as Suzuki should start a lap.
Yeah, so now we'll pick up there just as he comes up to turn 3, 4. And then you go through the fast. I really like this section of track, but be careful on the inside wall there. 19.7 sector 1. He uses more of the inside curb there than you did in your fast lap, Jensen. I think a softer setup will allow that. I think if the car's quite stiff, which Canada sometimes the setup is quite stiff.
I didn't get much turning on that, but yeah. It depends what setups these guys are using. He's got a decent sector 2. This week it's going to be benchmark that.
And I think he could be looking to get in somewhere in the 9s here on the medium, which I think he could be reasonably happy with.
Yeah, he's on course for looks like it's going to be a mid to high 9. Well, it might be.
Is it going to stay in the 9s? 9.8. So that's a reasonably good first lap there for Duffy, and 8.7 for Glock on the mediums, and that is utterly disgusting.
Yeah.
He needs a drug test.
And then he's out. Then he's out of qualifying. He's crashed.
Oh, and he's dropped it just at sector 2, the end of sector 2. The two tricky corners, the corner that I spoke about being very tricky on traction, and that is... oh, that is a disaster for Nelly's hopes for taking the fight towards Glock.
And Adam he's going for another lap and he's only 100th off his time.
Majid does a 9.3 in the medium, so I think he'll be happy with that time so far. Rockin' Kid does an 8.5, so he shows that he's got the pace to maybe take it to Glock this evening.
And Ryan Cut, 8.8. McLaren's once again showing the pace. Hopefully this time around Ryan Cut doesn't have those issues with the lobbies.
Yes, that has been the one, maybe a drawback. Senna Martin's a 9.5 on the softs. So he's maybe had a moment in a lap, but I think we know from the pace that he's shown that that is certainly not Senna's pace on that particular tyre. JB improved to a 9.9 on his second lap in the mediums. Duffy took another 10th out of his lap as well. He dropped down to a 9.7. So sometimes fun on insurge. Sophie Hayes, Dr. Special Energy, choosing not to go out. Mitch slots in a 14.2.
I think Senna might have might have backed off his lap at the end. He had a slow final sector, but he's also got damage, so he might have lost it.
On board with the boss as he comes through the first couple of corners. I think he went for one lap, but now he's looking to try and improve on his medium compound tyre. It's nice and close to the wall. Hug on the inside, pick your braking spot, 80 metres. Slamming the brakes, he uses the curb on the inside as well, and you see there it really upset the rear of the car. Got to be so careful when you use that curb, and I think Lee's backed off his lap there. Get a bit of towing action between JB13 and Yusuf on the back straight. I don't know if JB13, I don't think he's on a fast lap here. He may be coming into the pits. Officer Duffy is 3/10 up. Meerkat does well there to get out his way. So Duffy is definitely improving. Can he get himself below the mid-9s? I think if he carries this pace through the rest of the lap, he just could. He's very nice through that sequence of corners. Yes.
Many runs, he's 5/10 up. At the moment, of course, getting up to P4, I think, instead of his teammate. If he gets his final sector right, this time around in Canada, there's going to be a lot of abuse in that final chicane. They're going to be so quick for them, I think, at high risks as they go at a medium speed there.
Straight to the line he goes. Yeah. And he drops himself to a 9.2. Good improvement up to P4 there for Officer Duffy. Yes, a very good lap on a 4-lap old medium tyre. I think that's probably more like a 9.1 maybe on the fresh run. So I think
Vinell coming through as well. He's up on his time with 3/10. Locks up massively into the hairpin. That's going to cost him. Renault. Coming up to the final chicane.
And I think, just to jump away, I think we may have Glock on a fast one as he comes down into the chicane to come onto the back straight. He's 2/10 up, so he's finding time through these couple of corners. Can he find some more time up to the final chicane through Wall of Champions and to the line? Could be a low 8 coming up, an even lower 8. Find the 10 through here, and he's going to be about an 8.1. Oh, he's got to be careful there, and he's going to lose all the lap time there. Duffy's got out of the way.
Because the lap wasn't much of an improvement at the time, and speed in that was quite the lap by itself. Jelly's putting a 9.5s. The soft tyres are actually compared to the medium.
Oh, and Maggi has a big moment. Oh, and he's dropped the car. I don't know if he's kept it. I think he has kept it from retirement. He would definitely have damage from that though.
Yeah, comes a Red Bull coming up behind Mitch. Mitch is doing a few runs on those softs. Oh, JB13, good sector. Grass, second DRS soon.
So Mitch across the line to open his first lap, finds a nice line through one, takes the apex nice through two, pick up the power gently, let the car run wide all over that curb. Cuts a little bit of grass, shouldn't cost him too much time, chuck the car in, find the apex, let the car run downhill, go to the wall on the outside. He's clipping his apex, he's nice. He's maybe went a little deep in the brakes here, but he's managed to get the front end of the car pulled into the corner.
Take the tight line coming into.
Oh, and that's a good camera angle for this sequence of corner. Hits his apex well. He's really nice through the two corners actually. So Mitch, I think, is going to be well up here. No, he's down. That's really interesting.
Oh, he's got into the grass a little bit there. Coming into the Brington base. Going alright at the moment. It's the final chicane. Definitely a challenge.
And he just backs out his lap, so he's went into the pits. I think he's going to go and get a fresh set of boots. 4 laps done in these softs, maybe just no time left in the tyre, but if he can carry that smoothness through some of the corners, we've seen him there, I think Mitch can maybe surprise himself a little here tonight. So who do we have? Ryan Cut is a 10th up in his lap, going into the last chicane to come out of the back straight. Oh, and where is Rocking Kid? He's going to the line, so we'll go on board with him. Can he improve? Can he attack Glock? He takes provisional pole. He drops in at the 7s, a 7.8 for Rocking Kid.
Great lap.
Ryan Cut now 3.5 tenths up in sector 2 split, so he's looking even like he could take himself up to give Glock some problems. How close is he going to be? Sergi the tyres from the session. Ryan Cut goes P2 and an 8.2, so Glock a couple of tenths to find. Green Meerkats now went third in an 8.2, so Glock now relegated to P4. Now P5, Senna Martins goes P2 and an 8.1.
That is really strange. Oh, Rocking Kid's lost it. He was up on his time. Oh, that's nothing. It's on his second run, but got it. And
So
I do not know. Serge has crashed in the exact same place as his brother there. They're both out.
So can Glock find the time to get himself? He's looking for 6 tenths. That's a big chunk of time to find. He's really aggressive through turns 4, 2 tenths up sector 1. That's exactly where he would want to be.
Oh wow, you know, 9 tenths up at this time. He's about to put his car up there, but Glock, we're going to move sector. Very nice time.
And I think he's going to be 4, maybe 5 tenths up here as he hits this split time, and he is 4.5 tenths up into the last chicane. He is definitely getting himself up in that range of P1 or 2. Can he find any more time through the last chicane to get himself up on that provisional pole line before the last runs of the session?
So I'm predicting from here, he gets his final chicane right.
And he's very nice through there. DRS open straight to the line. Can he get himself back up into that top spot? And he does a 7.6. Ooh, that's a strong lap. So the gauntlet now throws back to Ryan Kidd. Can you come and find yourself another couple of tenths to put the pressure back on Glock? Duffy a 10th up. He is now out on the soft tyre.
His teammate also, it seems, up on his time. And he's getting a small little toe from Dino in front. He's got 40.7 middle sector. And I'll tell you what, Panty's going to get the slipstream here down the straight. This could affect conditions quite a big amount here. Can challenge P3.
So I think Officer Duffy is going to launch himself inside that top 5 here tonight. This lap, sorry. He's good through the chicane, hard on the pipper, straight to the line. Scrub, no speed. He's going to be in about the 8s and a 108.6.
Great times by the Racing Blood guys there. Both almost exactly the same.
So now we need to find some more. I was saying to him before the race, I wanted to see an 8.6 in qualifying. Now we need more. Yes, Nelly, believe it or not, Jensen was actually talking about that. Both brothers dropped the card at the exact same point in circuit. Unfortunate, but I am sure you will give us something to watch from the back of that grid. Sophie opting not now. This is something we should talk about, Jensen. Sophie's done this the last couple of races. She's opted not to go out early. She's went for one run, end of the session, medium tyre, and she's sitting 3rd in the championship. So her method is clearly working. So, oh, and Duffy and Maggie both back out the lap. That's interesting.
If they both go 4 laps though, they're on the same set of tyres they did their fastest runs on anyway, and if they don't improve, they're just wasting tyre work for nothing. Yellow flags, and it's McLaren.
Mitch is finding time as he comes onto the back straight.
Oh.
I am sure you as well, Nelly. I am 100% positive. Canada's a track where you can definitely get overtakes done as well. So Mitch to the final chicane. Keep the car out, World Champions. Gets right up in the curb, and Sophie's retired from the session. Interesting. And Mitch gets himself up to a 12-0, finds 9/10 that lap. And he's choosing to stay well out the way of the traffic that's coming round.
Yeah, it's good luck for Mitch. Oh, very close to McLaren there, but he wants to stay out the line. Keep positive with the line. Right side.
JB13 is in a McLaren sandwich now. I don't know, these guys might all be on laps here, and Ryan Cut could be in a really good position to get the toe here.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to have a really strong toe for JB13 down the back straight, so that's going to be something to watch. I think the first McLaren's had to back out their lap, so Rockin' Kid's going to do his teammate big favours and stay well out the way. And Ryan Cut is going to get a huge toe. Oh, he gets the wheel spin and check and gets launched out that last hairpin, and he is in a perfect prime position to maybe gain a 10th or 2 as he goes down this back straight in the slipstream of JB13. Can he get himself alongside his teammate, which the McLaren boys have been doing very regularly this season? Very good.
He's getting more of a toe. Is he going to challenge them?
And he gets up into P3 and 8.0 and finds 2/10 in his lap time. Green Meerkat goes P2. 5/1000ths of a second now between him and Glock, so that is one to watch. And Green Meerkat's been one of the guys that have showed glimmers of really good pace, but just not had the race to show it.
Yeah, Glock is a 10th up in sector 1, sector 2, he's half a 10th up, he's lost time in the road sector, so he could be under threat here for pole position. So, not anything pole.
And will that do him? He seems to be reasonable enough through the last corner, and he improves just by 2/100ths of a second, so I don't think Green Meerkat's got another lap in him. Rockin' Kid, I think he is he on a lap? I think he is maybe trying to save. Is he going to go for another? No, he is in, and the other McLaren is in. Senna Martin's 2/10 up, so can he take himself up close to somewhere in that top 3, relegate some of the McLaren boys? Senna Martin's 3.5 up, so
that's a great middle sector.
He is looking very strong to get himself up near the front row of that grid.
If he gets this right, he could take.
And I don't know if he seemed to take a really early shift to 8th here down the back straight. I don't know if that's going to cost him any time as he comes through the final chicane right up to World Champions. To the line he goes. 8.1. Officer Duffy to the line, can he improve? Not quite. Runs the same time. We've got Jelly getting a big toe for his teammate down the back straight. This can make the world of difference. Through the last chicane. DRS open to the line. Can the Haas get up close to his teammate? Gains 2/10, 108.6. There's a big cluster of guys there. JB13, he's coming through the last chicane. He's 3/10 up according to my screen on the last hour. So can he get himself up more to... No, he lost some time through the last corner.
Everyone in their final laps, they didn't move any positions. They didn't get much improvement.
So maybe the optimum's laps came mid-session for most drivers there. So Glock takes pole yet again, but by a very small margin to Green Meerkat. Split by 2/100ths of a second. Then Rockin' Kid 2/10 behind. Ryan Cut 2/10 behind him. I think is Senna Martin on a lap here? No, he's just run out of fuel. He's just going to the line because it saves time than going into the garage.
I think it's just AI. It's just Mitch.
Yes, Scott, this could be a cracker. So the OTL boys will now go on their 5-minute refresher. get the loo, get a drink, do whatever they gotta do. We will go quiet for 30 seconds while if Jensen needs, and I'm going to go and refresh my cup. So bear with this chat, we will be back.
And that is qualifying results for Otl Round 6. Oh, so I didn't get that wrong. But, yeah, there you go. That is qualifying. Glock on pole, but not by much over Greenmaker, Rocky Kid, and Brian Cup taking the second row for McLaren, and Senna, Suzuki, Maggi, Jelly, Nino, and JB13 got far back as well.
So just flinging a little dig there to Mr. Officer Duffy, because I called his lap time before he even went out in qualifying. And it's still looking very dull for the race.
Right as well.
Guys racing, what is the weather outlook? Is it just overcast for the race but no rain? Or are you expecting some weather to roll in? Or maybe they just don't tell us and we just let the rain come. In fact, don't tell us, guys. Nobody put in chat. We don't want to know. I think that's better. Oh, let's try. Oh well. They let us know. Still, I think dry is going to make for an interesting race here, especially when we've seen qualifying. I think the delay between like how quickly I see it coming up in the chat to me actually saying it. Yeah, too late. Ah, I know, Senna. Useless, mate. Absolutely useless. I forgot there's a small bit delay between me saying something and in the chat filtering through, and yeah, I should have just kept my mouth shut in the first place, really. But onwards we go. So, Sophie, we need to try and find out as well. I don't think Sophie ever came out the pits, but there was no lap set. I don't know whether maybe just time.
She came out, went back in, and then again did the exact same. And I don't know.
I think wing damage is going to play. Oh, sorry. Tell me, just tell me to shut up, Jensen.
Nah, it's alright, but maybe trying something different, maybe hard start, as people starting on the softs, if they do go for a 2-stop, they're going to end up pitting for the mediums, they end up coming up behind if Sophie does keep as close to the leader before the stops, and that could benefit her coming to the final pit stop.
Yes, I think we know well as anybody, Canada can throw up the early safety car. In fact, it's one of the tracks that's probably most common for an early safety car. Yeah. I think with the closeness of walls, if you have any form of big wheel contact then the cars kind of bounce, one guy is in a wall, unfortunately. Wing damage as well. We could see a guy quite easily peg 10 seconds, being in a comfortable rhythm, hit a curb wrong, clip a wall, end plate off, and you will see the lap time hemorrhage very quickly. So we could be in for a long one. Exciting from our standpoint, but I think what could feel a long one from some drivers' views. Because sometimes I feel Kanaka's very Canada is very Monaco feel. It is sometimes a survival race, especially as you get deep into the stints on the tyres. I think it's a track where you really feel tyre wear a lot, and for more laps than most other tracks, with the off-camber corners and the style of the way some of the corners are laid out.
Well, you expect it to be a bit like Monaco. You know there's going to be walls everywhere. It's in the middle of a bloody island. Canada, so is Australia. They're both basically street circuit style-esque.
Yes, almost a hybrid.
Yeah.
I like to call them a hybrid. I think that's a good name for a kind of street slash track, because obviously Australia is very much a street circuit, just with some added track sections. But I think like 70% of the circuit is on normal roads, which is interesting. And it always amazes me how they can just make these tracks appear within the matter of a couple of weeks. I think we don't appreciate just how much logistics work goes into what goes an F1 team goes through week on week. So I don't think we'll be far away from a race start. Maybe just a minute or two. Yep. So your top 3 prediction before we get going, Jensen?
It's very hard to say because people outside the top 10 could be on the mediums, well, all hards, and could really throw a mix in the strategies. But as point of view from the last few races, I think Glock's going to take it, but Green Meerkat's not going to let him get away so easily, I reckon. So I fucking... not fucking reckon. Glock. I reckon Glock will get P1. Green Meerkat for P2, and I think Senna might be able to take P3.
So I'm going for a punt. I think you're right. I think Glock and Meerkat. I think I'm kind of with you there. I think they two could be on a bit of a runaway. But I'm going to take a punt, an outside punt for an Officer Duffy to sneak a podium today.
That would be brilliant.
Because I know from experience, when it comes to race pace, it's just a strong track for him. It can go well if everything just smooth. Yes, he's got some potential to score some really good points today, so that's my punt for a podium.
Whose turn is it this weekend then? You lights out.
I think it is you.
Cannot wait then. Let's do the formation lap.
Yes. So let's see. Let's get tyres on. So we have the top 12 all in softs, P13, 14, 15, 16 all in mediums, and Sophie, you were absolutely spot on, Jensen. She's got that hard strapped on and going for the distance. So that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. You have to look at the medium runners as well. They might go for the one stop too, but onto the hard, they have to go for the hards. Unless they can really stretch out those mediums, but it's going to be very hard to do.
So I think the two stop for here, I know from experience, I think the two stop, the softs due in about lap 6. And I think for a one stop, you're talking like 12?
Lap 13.
12, yeah, I was thinking it was about there.
You've really got to stretch those softs if you want to do the one stop onto mediums.
And
if you want to do a one stop onto hards, lap 10 is good.
So there you're saying, it's saying 2 stop, soft, medium, medium or soft, medium, hard. That's what the predicted strat is on my screen. That's probably not a strat I would use.
Yeah, soft, medium, hard. No, soft, medium, medium is definitely one. But, yeah, we're winding up now. It's going to be the race.
To the grid they go. And I will leave you with Jensen for lights out. Otl Round 6 Canada.
Put me under pressure.
Ooh yeah.
As the final Alfa Romeo lines up on the grid. Now we're just waiting for the lights. And there we go. 3, 4, 5 lights. And a very late lights out, but away we go. Glock's gonna keep the lead, looks like, coming into turn 1. Green Meerkat's not far behind the car, it's not changing much. Oh, Senna's going up the inside, reflecting McLaren slightly. He's fighting Rocket Kid, I think. Full position here. I don't know what's happened to the order.
Oh, and there's a spinner further back. Jelly Hayes has been turned round. But he's managed to get no damage, so I think he will continue, and the order is doing that horrendous stuff that it does every time we start a race.
Yeah, a lot of action going further back. The two brothers have gone up from P15, 16 to 11, 12 off the start. I can't say we haven't moved much. Jelly, that spin, is all the way down to 17, that's really unfortunate for him. But as we see, the grid, the top 7 hasn't changed at all. Glock's still leading, Green Meerkat.
And I think we're going to have a move here on the 2-0. Rockin' Kid chooses to stay behind his teammate for now. Sorry to jump in there, Jensen. It's just that McLaren was looking like he was approaching.
He might go for it. He might go for it now. And look at Green Meerkat. He's going to try and make a move on Glock into turn 1. And he's going to stay back. It looks like it was very close there, but Glock's not getting away. Green Meerkat's really putting pressure.
So, the grid order, we have Glock from Green Meerkat, Ryan Cut, Rockin' Kid, Senna Martins, Duffy, Maggi, Lionel, Special Energy, JB13, Envy, Nelly and Sergeant both made up 4 positions off the start and made the gains they had to in the first couple of laps. C. Passley P13, you know Yusuf P14, F1 Sophie made a couple of positions on her hard tyre near the rear. She's in P15, Mitch P16, Jelly Hayes, as we've seen, get that contact early and down in P17.
Yeah, the top 7 seem to pull away a bit. Maybe the top 6, Maggi starting to pull a bit behind, as well as Lino starting to pull from Maggi. Other than that, everyone's quite close to each other. As Nelly's made a move into that hairpin, I think she's got past it. 13, Serge's also trying to make a move down the straight. Very close to colliding there. Is Serge going to make this thing? Yes, he is.
And that Ferrari is mighty in a straight line as Envy collects the Wall of Champions. I don't know if he's picked up any damage there, and I think he is missing an end plate, but it's not a Wall of Champions end plate because it's on the left hand side, so that's been another incident at another point in the track.
Yeah, Glock's pulled away a little bit there. I think he used a lot more energy than Meerkat on the previous laps, so. And
if the two McLaren boys are in apart, I was just going to say there, if they were in talking to each other, I don't know if Ryan Cup would maybe, if they're talking about letting each other go. Oh, and there's Rockin' Kid nearly dropped it just as I say that. I was just about to say Rockin' Kid had a moment and fell off, and now he's had another moment, and that's going to put him under pressure for Senna Martin. He's going to try and send one round the outside of the hairpin, but Rockin' Kid's going to defend the inside. Senna Martin tries for the cutback, but Rockin' Kid's drove better out the back straight. And all the while Officer Touffe is just lurking there, half a tenth behind. He's now in that DRS range, and that's going to help him keep. Senna. But Senna's actually got the DRS coming in, and Rockin' Kid's going to defend the inside line. It's not a place to overtake, and Senna Martin's going to avoid the contact. I think he does the right thing there.
Yeah, takes the escape road. Knows they won't make the corner. Great driving there from those two. As now the dude who's right back of him coming into and Green Meerkat is not letting the race leader get away one bit, but he's had a moment into that chicane after sector 1 and he's lost out about 2 to 3 seconds.
And if you actually look at the ERS management, it looks like Glock's doing, Green Meerkat's doing everything right. He's got double the energy that Glock is currently holding, and he's just using the DRS to just keep him going and attack when the time is right. I think once you're 4 or 5 laps into these softs, the last thing you want to be doing is going through sequences of corners side by side with people here, because you're only going to take performance out the tyre, especially if you're stretching for that one stop.
If anything, I think you need to attack 1, 2, 3, like fully charged up.
And I think Senna Martin's box, so Duffy's going to be... Oh, and Duffy's, he picked up some damage there, I don't know. He did, he lost the end plate. So a couple of pitters early.
In the battle. Ryan Cut's now in the top 3 battle. Within the 1 second of Green Meerkat, and he's got 95% energy, he's got more energy in both of them. So, Green Meerkat might need to get a pass done quickly before Ryan Cut bounces on them too.
So not as plain sailing as Glock has had it for the last couple. He's usually 5 seconds up the road by now, or that's the trend he was following. But Green Meerkat showing the potential that we did think he had. And he's staying right in the back of Glock. Ryan Cut as well. He's maybe just fell out the DRS range now.
DRS zone there. And here comes Green Meerkat. Not using much energy, I think he might be waiting for the next straight as they go through the chicane. And he's got the run right. He's right on the energy deployment there. He's got DRS. He's going to send down the inside. He's going to make the move. Glock's up a slight bit. Glock's come back around the outside. They're doing side by side move from sector 1, but Glock's...
Good racing between the two.
That's round 1 to Glock there.
So Glock's saying, right, I have been on a run, and if you want the fight, if you want these wins, you are going to have to pry them out my fingernails, because he is not taking no for an answer. And he looks very intent on fighting with everything he's got. And all the while, this is going to help Ryan Cut. I think, well, they two keep fighting.
The yellow flag has been the instant is now, and there's been a crash through the third chicane, I think, just before the second sector, and he's got big damage, but he's nothing to keep going there.
Not at such a bad time, I guess. I think it's a time where you can just now go and put on the hards, take your new wing, and just focus on getting the car to the end of the race.
Yeah, Mad G in the pits, so I think he's going for the 2-stop, as Racing Point have got him some medium tyres to stick on his car.
And I think with the pace that Duffy's shown him where he is, he should be looking to extend this stint out. I think he can definitely play some ball with the leaders here, although he's just starting to look a little loose on the rear axle of that Racing Point, so he's going to have to be cautious of that, especially as he starts to run curbs through the twisty stuff.
Okay, he's starting to pull out the zone that he needs to keep within that gap. Just a bit more, he's all in the middle sector, slight bit, but he's using the energy very smartly. Looks like he is mastering the overtake button already, which I bet not many people manage to do, and that's probably Glock's weakness at the moment, is that overtake button. As Green Meerkat not using his overtake, some off DRS one again. And
Duffy and Rocking Kid both pits.
Yeah. Pit stop for the McLaren.
So Duffy was 1.5 behind his teammate. We'll see how much time he has gained or lost on. Duffy's having to take a fresh wing. So he is actually he is going to take the wing change here. So it's going to be close. Can he stay in front of his teammate as he gets out the pits? It's going to be really close here. Remember, as you hit the pit exit, they might be in front, but they've got 2 tricky corners to get through before you meet So I think he might just filter out here in front of his teammate. It's going to be... Oh no, Maggie's going to get it just through. Officer Duffy obviously on the brand new fresh tyre, Maggie on a lap older tyre, and Duffy well within striking range.
I think Jerry's had another knock on the wing, he's gone onto the medium tyres now, wasn't the hards, and Mitch just came on the hard tyres as well, so he looks to be going on for a long stint.
As our lead two continue on, Ryan Cut is boxed.
Yeah.
So Ryan Cut's in.
He might feed out near his teammate if he doesn't have good damage, and I don't think he did.
We'll stay on board with Rock and Kid to see comes through. I think he's going to be well in front.
Yellow flag is a Red Bull.
And I think that's Mitch. He's had a moment. I hope it's not a retirement. And Ryan Cut does. He stays well in front of his teammate. Ryan Cut's actually stayed in front of Senna Martins, and Senna Martin tried for the undercut.
Yeah, perfect timing for the pit stop for Ryan Cut there, almost lost it. The thing is, what the leaders going to do? They're going to stick to the one stop, or they're going to
See, that's the thing, because a gauntlet's been thrown down with the guys that were running practically the same pace, so they are going to be in a lot of traffic in the one stop. That is the issue. And we know how bad it can be at Canada trying to follow another car. So Glock and Green Meerkat maybe try and keep going. On. Glock looks like he's came in, so Green Meerkat's going to continue on. Glock takes the pit stop. So I think
he's responding to Ryan Cut here.
I think it's going to be close between these two. Ryan Cat's got DRS to help him down the back straight. Glock is now in his box. And he is away again. And I think Ryan Cut may get the jump on Glock here. I think he's going to get the jump. I think Ryan Cut has got the undercut done on a race leader, as it's going to be really close, and he's just got out in front.
Wow, that was very close, but Ryan Cut has probably made the strategy choice in the century there, and he's just jumped the race leader. It is now...
Ryan Cut gained massively in that pit stop.
This is up. I think he is in the net race lead at the moment, Ryan Cut.
Yes, with Green Meerkat still to pits, the two brothers.
They might go for the one stop, they might go for the two stop, but then he's got wing damage, he's got missing an end plate, surge, still got his full wing, he might start chasing.
Green Meerkat in?
Down. Yes he is, he's responded to Glock. I think he might lose out a lot more now than Glock did.
So let's watch that fight, but Ryan Cut's coming through the last chicane, so I think Green Meerkat will be behind.
Watch out for Glock. Glock, DRS on him, but I don't think he can get him. Green Meerkat just coming out of the pits. He might come up behind Senna. Senna can return to... And I think Senna moves side by side. And Senna is not going to get out ahead. He's always undercutted. It's P2. Green Meerkat, he's now P5.
So the net racing order as it stands is Ryan Cut's net P1, the two brothers out front still to stop. Glock P2, Green Meerkat 3, Senna Martins 4. That's our top 4.
I think that could throw this into the mix, so all the two brothers go for one stop. If they do, that basically puts them the net race lead. It depends how long they go.
And questions that I think will be answered over the next 5 to 10 laps, I think you'll know.
Here goes Glock. Glock making a move for the lead. Looks like, yeah, goes on to P3.
But look at that, Jensen. Glock down to 30% ERS and he's only out the pits.
Yeah, Green Meerkat, he's going to have to use his energy to get back.
But then saying that, yep, just as you say that, Green Meerkat was who he was fighting, so Glock feels, I just need to clear Ryan. It doesn't matter if I've not got the ERS advantage because the guy I was racing has lost time.
Thing is, how fast Scott going to catch these guys?
And Officer Duffy and Mad G still slugging away. The two racing points, probably not saving any time racing each other unless they're literally at the pace in which they just keep going round, I guess. They are closing in on Sophie. And I think Rocking Kid maybe, I don't know if he's having connection issues, I've definitely seen a ghosted car there.
So we're on lap 12. In the next 2 laps or so will probably be pit window for the medium guys up front.
Oh, and is that going to be on? Ryan Damage he's lost a Ryan Cut has lost an end plate now through Wall of Champions, and you can see that he is lumped with understeer under left hand cornering now.
Glock is now within DRS range of the Ferrari. Surge and I don't think he's going to get past this time around, but he's going to get past surely down the straight if he gets close enough.
So looking at the pace Glock has put in now, I think that has been massive tyre management in the early stint.
I think the two brothers might be pitting this lap. There's a blue icon on their telemetry. So I think they're both going to come in. No. We'll carry on going. I think it's just adjustments they're making. But Glock's made the position at the second.
Glock's pushing for some mighty laps here.
There's more tyres. The surge is going to help Glock a lot because Ryan Cut's going to be behind most of the lap here.
And Senna's retired.
And they're out the race.
No, I think he retired in the pit lane. Unless he's had to get off. I don't know. Unfortunate for Senna. Ryan Cut all over the back of Surge now as well. Surge not making it easy. Is Ryan Cut going to send it here? An unorthodox pace to make an overtake, but he gets through. And through Ryan Cut goes now in Surgy. Wants to probably stay behind Mitch here and pick up the DRS activation zone for the back straight. That would help him hugely. Glock now within 1 second of Envinelli at the front, and he's really made that medium tyre work early in this stint.
Yeah, when is Nelly going to pit? I'm sure he's going to be pitting this lap. If he doesn't pit this lap, he must be trying for one stop to the softs if he's not pitting this lap. I don't see it any other way.
If you were going the one stop to the softs, you've got to ask about 20-25 laps, I would think, out that medium tyre. And then Vinelli, well, big connection issue there. He came very close to Glock and then just shot away. That was horrible. I hope Glock is not experiencing that behind.
Yeah.
So Duffy and Sophie actually in a battle. Sophie's actually got through Duffy. So Sophie's starting to find a lot of time in her hard compound tyre.
His connection issues with Nelly, that's not going to help Glock much. It's going to make it harder for Glock to overtake him. He's coming out, he's putting straight on the power, energy, 100% deployment. He's running out quickly though, as he takes the lead in the race back away from Nelly there.
And Nelly's brother is in Surge pits.
Hard tyres. So he's taking this one stop. It says playing a safe game here.
So we're going to see our order start to filter down again.
He's going to come out ahead, Maggi. Pick up Maggi, pass in the pits. And also Doofy going for a move down the inside of F1 so he becomes turn 2. And he has got a move down the surge and filters out in between the racing points. That's going to make an interesting battle.
So the Mad G could do his teammate a favour here and just hold Surge a little. Surge obviously going to the end now, gained 9 positions, got his pit stop done and got out in a really strong position to go make some gains closer to the end.
Watch out for Rocking Kid. He's on the back of Green Meerkat. Green Meerkat struggling on these tyres a lot. And here comes Rocking Kid. Rocking Kid's going to make a very pass into P4.
So that's strange on Green Meerkat's side, still get oodles of energy.
What's happened to Nelly? Nelly's...
Wait, what?
He's gone into the pits and he's been teleported outside and he's back in the pits again. Wait.
That was... He was literally driving on his pit limiter on the main straight there. We don't mean to laugh for anybody tuned in, but that was one of the most hideous things I've ever seen in Codemasters history. You cannot have a car driving down the main straight on the pit limiter. That is ludicrous.
And this game's supposed to be esports ready.
Oh, damn.
Well, Nelly's came out in P9. That is costing you a 5-second penalty to speed in the pit lane as well. Really lagging.
Yeah, the connection is not...
Such a great first half of race room, and it's horribly wrong in this bit. And also Dooley's really looking to move Maggi. So it's been moving Maggi on those hard tyres. He's not getting away enough to do get close to his teammate as Maggi has DRS and such.
And F1 Sophie now picks up a 5-second time penalty for speed in the pit lane, so Officer Duffy and that need to keep this in mind. I know Surge has got a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits as well, so...
I only stopped to the mediums, I'll say. If I was going for this strategy, I would have gave it 1 lap later, but should have come up P13.
Oh, and Maggi has let his teammate go. Maggi has let Officer Duffy through, and I think that's the cue for Officer Duffy to go and try and chase Surge. And I think that'll be a case of if Duffy can't get him, they will look at switching the position near the end. But I think Duffy and Maggi will both have still pit stops to run. So I don't know if it's a fight Duffy really needs to go picking right now. Because he's really not racing Surgery. Surgery's going to the end. And I think Duffy will have to stop.
I think Surge, he's in the net P3 at the moment. It's looking like. But when Rocking Kid and Green Meerkat hit again, he's got to really watch his back. Because they're going to be on crash tyres, he's going to have to defend.
You'd think Glock is going to go for the 2-stop as well.
I'll be pitted on lap 9, so I'd say he should be going for 2-stop. Same with Ryan Clark, he pitted on lap 8. Rocking Kid pitted on lap 7.
So Sergi will take over the lead of this race. As it stands,
well,
he's about... Yeah, he's going to be close. If he can keep gaining some times on the guy in front, get the gap between him and Green Meerkat maybe down to about 10 or 9 seconds, then he will be very close to be in the position he needs to be to try and control the race from the front till the end. Yellow flag, sector 3.
There's been an incident, it's Mitch. He's lost it. Next at the hairpin. And not having the greatest race, Mitch. Really unfortunate for him.
So Envinelli now all over the back of my G, looking to try and make moves. He's thinking about sending it there, but not the best place for an overtake. Mad G will get some DRS assistance.
There's another yellow flag. I think that was Rocking Kid. I think. No, it wasn't. It was Jelly.
Oh, I think it's Jelly getting out the way of the guys.
Yeah, pretty big catch that. Looking to make a move, maybe get really close to Rocking Kid and try and line one up. And Rocking Kid has a bad exit there. He hits the ball, but I don't think.
And
Maggi in the pits. Maggi.
So he's going for maybe another medium tyre.
Well. That's like apparently speed in the pit lane. I don't think Racing Point are going to let each other race now. I think they might have to put in team orders if.
I think as well, got to bear in mind, Ryan Carter has drove his car from like lap 10 or 9 with wing damage.
And he just comes out ahead of everyone so good. He's on the soft tyres, Maggi.
14 laps.
Really early.
That is a big ask.
Coming into the race, he might be under pressure.
So, this is interesting times ahead. Sergi and then Vinelli, that's probably the two most intriguing drivers right now as it stands. Because where they're going to come out, and we've got yellow flag sector 2 and 3.
It's Lee now. He's had a moment on the exit of the chicane and he's got positions. And he's going to end up.
And he does super well, does Lee, to pick up no damage and incidents. I know spinning is not, so although he will not be chuffed about losing time, take a lot of solace with the fact that you're not losing time and having to take a pit stop. The fact that you can keep the car out the wall is, especially here, I think any incident is usually a wheel or a wing off. Maggi in the pits again.
We might have picked up damage and Glock. Watch out for Glock because he might be pitting in the next few laps of the medium runners. Definitely he's going to be pitting. Line cut maybe in the next few laps. Rocking Kid as well. Green Meerkat's going to make a move coming into the chicane. And Green Meerkat, I think he's made the move work. A bit of a slight cut there, but he's in position. Rocking Kid's going to come back, but he's not going to come back enough to be in position back. Green Meerkat is now back up into 3rd place. And Rocking Kid's lost it. On turn 2, he spun the car at too much throttle.
Oh, and there's more wing off for Rocking Kid. That's not going to be good.
Oh, that is just rotten luck for him there.
And that is just what we're saying, with Canada, when it bites hard. And he's really slow through mid. His apex speeds have absolutely plummeted. He's going to come under big pressure from Sergi.
The thing about Canada, almost every traction zone is never straight. You're always turning as you go, and Sergi's looking to make a move even before they come onto the straight. He's picking his nose around the outside. His brother's coming into the fray as well, and Sergi's got the exit, and he's going to make
And Vanilla needs to be cautious of the fact that Rocking Kid probably will be pitting here.
Yeah, Rocking Kid, he's going to send it into the pits. And
Sergi
that might have helped Nelly. That definitely helped Nelly there. Serge goes up to 3rd. Nelly hasn't got a penalty as well, so it's going to be interesting. Nelly's at the moment
net podium.
Yeah. And when Green Meerkat picks, it's going to be 2nd and 3rd for them. Ryan Cut only coming out 2.5 seconds behind Nelly.
Rocking Kid drops all the way back to P11. That is so unfortunate. Glock now 13.3 in the lead. Is Glock going to try and take these mediums to the end? No, he doesn't, does he?
I think he might be stretching out his tyres. I think he
to do maybe 8 laps on the softs.
You can see the P3 gap now on his deltas. You know what to do now. You can go for the softs.
And this is him maybe thought, if I stretch the medium out a little more, I could get a fast lap attempt at the end of the race if I can get onto the soft.
Yeah, he's already got the fastest lap of the race. Jelly is not far away from that fastest lap. He's only 100, and that's Mitch again through the second chicane, it looks like. And he's reversing into the line. There's hopefully not getting too much in the way for the guys. And he recovers again, he's pulling back now. And Nelly's in the DRS of his brother Sergio. And maybe a move being eyed up for the next straight. They both have the same energy. So it's just going to be DRS advantage for Nelly, I think. And Ryan Cut is also right there.
We know Ryan Cut showed some really early pace, so he is looking to make amends.
Yeah.
For earlier mishaps.
Nelly, he's going for the DRS, he's not going to make the move. Ryan Cut's not going to want this, he's going to be stuck for another lap behind these two. He's got the energy ready to deploy, but he's not going to be able to make a move yet. And I think Glock might be eyeing up his pit stop very shortly. He might.
G lines up a move down the back straight, and Dr. Special Energy I think is going to be a clean cut DRS pass into the braking zone of the last chicane. Job done.
Yeah, Yusuf coming in for his final stop onto the soft tyres.
Duffy now I think looking to reclaim his P6. And as he took his second stop.
Oh, look at Ryan Cut, he's getting his nose in there in the hairpin. All three of these guys, who's going to take the position? Ryan Cut, he's not using much of his energy.
And he has a huge advantage here. Ryan Cut is in prime position to get that last spot in the podium between these two Jensen. He's going to attack him with Nelly, DRS open. Need to be careful there. The last thing he needs is to pick up a penalty because Nelly does not have one, and Ryan Cut's going to go on the inside of Nelly. Nelly's going to try and hang on the outside to take the inside for turn 2, but Ryan Cut closes the door and he is through. So can the brother do the other brother a favour? Sergi needs to try and aid if his brother's fighting for that championship. Points critical. Glock would definitely take the lead of the championship as the position stands right now, but I think Ryan Cut just has a little too much pace on that medium tyre. Yellow flag, sector 2 and 3, that's just for a car we're coming up to. Ah, I see.
Let him bring up the safety system there.
And I think here comes Ryan Cut. He's gaining.
Ryan Cut is going to go up the inside.
Oh, and he's really good in the brakes. Sergi doesn't do much to defend it, and through Ryan Cut goes.
What's going to happen now, though?
Does he?
Meerkat, do you think he might be going to the end on these tyres? He used the last pit. He might be able to stretch his tyres, you know. Glock.
And Duffy's actually got through, and Sophie's, but he picked up a 3-second time penalty, so he now needs to bridge that gap, and it'll be a qualified P6, finished P6, and I think that's a good day in the office for himself.
Matty getting a penalty as well. It's not good as he's fighting with Dr. Special Energy as well.
Ryan Cut just gets a time penalty, so that's going to have to be something in the back of his mind now.
I think Glock is going to the end, it looks like, then. I don't think he's pitting.
And that would be a mighty stint on these medium tyres.
Sure. And Nelly, is he going to go full and attack it? No. And he's got a 3-second penalty, that's not going to help his chances. And now, what could be P4? Looks like it's completely washed away. And he's now going to try and overtake his brother on track. And he's also got a 5-second penalty into consideration as well. So
Dr. Special Energy and Mad G for that P10 spot are having a fair old slugfest in the mid pack. And Vanelli still 3/10 behind his brother, but an interesting one this could be, is definitely gaining.
Yeah, I think Yusuf going for the fast lap maybe. This is on these soft tyres.
On Glock's pit?
Yeah, Glock pitting. That's interesting. Is Green Meerkat going to stay out? Green Meerkat can take the race lead here.
But Glock will be mighty fast. I think Green Meerkat's definitely going to take the lead of the race. Like, there's no question about that.
Yeah, Green Meerkat, that's a clear one there. He just has to defend Glock. That's not going to be easy though. It's easier said than done.
As Glock is now out in a fresh tyre and straight away within DRS range with a topped up ERS system. Yeah, look at that, look at that, straight away, third corner, P1 back, leaves the space for Green Meerkat on the inside, but absolutely nothing he can do with Glock on that fresh soft tyre. So Glock going for maximum points here today.
Pole position, race win at the moment, and he just needs to extend that fast lap to make sure. You've got a few other people going for fast lap. Yusuf might be eyeing one up near the end of the race. Got special energy. Still behind Mad G. He got very close as well. But other than that, I think Glock's safe for this.
And I think it'll be a very good recovery drive for Ryan. I think he can be quite happy with the fact to get himself back to P3.
Sure, was.
Dr. Special Energy and Mad G trade position again, and they're going to now slot into the fight with C. Pasley. So Mad G's got a couple of positions on offer here, and C. Pasley's going to pull it the inside. He says, "Oh, I don't really want to be part of this fight," but he's going to pull into the toe of his teammate. And is he going to hold up the racing point? I don't think C. Pasley can, because they are absolutely flying past. So Dr. Special Energy and Mad G now fight for P9.
I think it's going to be a 108 for Glock. He's going for second 2. He's got 41.2 and second 2, 1.3 seconds up. He just needs to find another 4 attempts, and there you go. That's a 108 fastest lap. Surely unbeatable one.
I would think so. I would certainly think so.
But look at the gap he's pulled over that lap. So that means he's pulled off an entire 4 seconds.
And he does a 109 flat.
He does not get the 108. That's very surprising there. But still, he'd be happy with that. Put himself a guaranteed fastest lap, and that's anyone steps up to the table, has a go.
So Ryan Cut is now all over the back of Green Meerkat. I don't know if you can see this, gents, but Ryan Cut he's making a move for P2, and through he goes on the inside. Maybe not the best place to take the position, but Green Meerkat, who's stayed out, is really struggling. So Envy Nelly has... This is not over, Jensen. Green Meerkat struggling for about a time. Envy Nelly now 4 seconds behind. Nelly maybe still have a podium.
There is a problem for Ryan Cut though. He has got a penalty. Bear that in mind. He's got one 3-second penalty. Vinelli's got 8 seconds in his bank. Penalties.
Oh, yep.
Serge has got 3 seconds. The Serge at the moment is going to jump up to P4. Ryan Cut, he has to pull a gap to have any hope to keep in that. P2 and Green Meerkat, he's got 75% energy ready to deploy. Ryan Cut only 20%. Mercedes just may not think the GP first.
Ryan Cut is finding the time, maybe not in the straights, but in the corners. Green Meerkat is struggling to keep up here, so...
Green Meerkat, no, the penalty situation for him. He's got to use that energy now. He's got 78%. He's got 2 laps to go. Surely he must start using it now.
And a big inside lockup that's going to hurt the tyres even more. GB13. Was Ryan Cut close enough? And he was. Ryan Cut gets a blasted DRS for the back marker as well, so that's going to help his situation out even more.
Ryan Cut's going to be losing out on the straights a lot.
And Rocking Kid back up to P7. He's trying to hunt down Officer Duffy as well. 2 laps to go, 3 seconds is the gap. Oh, he nearly loses the rear of the car.
Yeah, penalty situation down there. Rocking Kid, he has not got a penalty, I think.
I think in the end it's going to be a very, very valiant effort from Green Meerkat. If he stays on the podium with that tyre, I would be very impressed. But Vinelli is closing fast. That's another 2 seconds he's took out on this lap, and if he does the same again, he's going to be on him on that back straight for the next lap.
Then he's going to hope that Green Meerkat's tyres
really let go. Yep. They've got to be on 70 to 80% wear.
Yeah. If Green Meerkat gets a puncture, that could open up the possibility of a podium for Nelly or Serge. There's the yellow flag in step with Grim, that's just Nelly letting the cars go.
And Serge gets another 3-second time penalty there.
That's hurting. He's got closer to his brother though, he just has to keep in a 2-second gap. And there's a yellow flag and
This Mitch just trying to get out of the way of the front guys, and Serge has got through and his brother.
Nearly there.
Oh, Nelly's got big damage. Nelly has got big damage. I don't think his P5 is under any form of threat here, but... Oh, and he's got to be careful, and the wing is totally off now.
Yeah. Also, Duke absolutely flying up to him. He has to gain another 4 seconds at P5.
Oh, Nelly's into the wall again. Officer Duffy, if he can keep finding time here, Nelly's P5 could be under pressure.
Yeah, he's going to be careful.
As Glock comes across the line for the win, OT out round 6 Canada. Ryan Cut, I think, is going to get a solid recovery to P2. That is a great drive in the end. Green Meerkat hangs the tyre on to P3.
Serge going to have that P4. And
Nelly's out! He's out right on the last corner.
Oh.
And that's going to drop him down the order. Officer Duffy will be promoted to P5 on the line. Rocking Kid 6, Sophie 7, Special Energy 8, Mad Geo 9. Which is a great drive for Sophie.
And then he's going to drop down to P12. He'll still get the points, but he's going to get, it looks like 8 points less than he could have got.
And that is not what he wanted in the last lap of the race. That's so unfortunate. With the wing damage, every time he was touching a wall, it was obviously just taking damage, and then the engine or the gearbox in that last contact has just gave it up. Serge gets the games driver of the day. We'll see if we can get Glock, Ryan and Green Meerkat in for a chat. Oh, Glock has no headset, so we know we can't get Glock. No, does he? Glock? So we'll see if we can get Ryan cut. And Green Meerkat. 43. So we'll see if we can get them in. I'll try Glock as well, you never know. He may be just for one time. So there is the finishing order on the screen. Glock P1, Ryan Cut 2, Green Meerkat 3, Surge 4, Doofy 5, Sophie 6, Rockin' Kid 7, Special Energy 8, Yusuf 9, Matt G rounding out the top 10, C Parsley P11, Envinelli P12, Lionel 13, GB 13 14, Jelly is 15, Mitch 16, and Senna Martin being their only retirement from the race. Good evening, guys. We'll start with Ryan. Got to be happy with that recovery. It almost looked at some point the race was maybe going to fall away from you, but you really started to pick up some momentum in that second stint, and once you were getting at people, there was no stopping you. Happy, congratulations, I think that's a thoroughly, very well driven P2. Green Meerkat, a valiant effort in trying to stretch the one stop in the end. I do not even want to know what percentage of tyre wear you had on the tyres. Oh, that's not too bad. I seen lockups became a bit more consistent, and I think the peak grip of the tyre had just dropped away. But I think both of you drove absolutely cracking races. I think Glock, at the start of the race, Green Meerkat, it really looked like you were taking it to Glock, but his second stint, he just went away. Ooh. I think you keep them under pressure in the early stints, and I definitely think you can make something work. Jensen. Yes.
Yeah.
Jensen, do you have anything to ask the guys?
As always, really, not really, but yeah.
So boring.
Good job from you. Well, good job from you two, guys. Green Meerkat, you're gonna have to tell me your tyre saving strategies, because I definitely need that for sure. And Ryan Cut, good recovery from you as well, man. Yeah.
So Jensen, I think it is your peg on driver of the day, so I'm going to leave that on you before we tie up for the evening.
It's a hard one. Of course, Glock didn't really have the most dominant race today. That's the thing about it. But for driver of the day, I've got to say it's got to be Ryan Cut. Really, it's just the amount of just his overtakes are just on point. Made some spectacular moves, and yeah, it made it all count really. Come the end of the race.
110%. So on that note, guys, OTL will be back same time next Monday. We hope to see you then. Good night.